So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we have Aaron Dallison. He's the bass player and singer, and we have him here, and it's for the band Axioma. And we're here because they're going to put out a new EP on November the 3rd, and we're all going to talk about it. And first of all, Aaron, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. So I like how you describe the band as Ohio apocalyptic music.
Well,
In the
we live in Cleveland, so
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
much to look
why
forward to. No, I'm kidding.
yes, that's a nod to I haven't been to Cleveland. I've been other places in Ohio, but not Cleveland. But yeah, I find it interesting that you put it like describe it like that way. And I listened to the new EP, Primal Descent, and you've been busy because I think you put out an album last year, so you've been quite busy. So what was the difference when you approach because obviously this is an EP, and like every track, there's like a theme running for each track. What did you wanted to do different from your last release to this EP that you're about to release?
It's not really a conscious decision to want to do something different. It's just that's how it evolves. When we did the record Sepsis last year, it came out last year. When it came out, we were already, like 3 songs in to something else, and we thought, well, once we have 4 songs, we just wanted to capitalize on something we had recently and just put something out. And everything was written, and we decided, hey, let's put out an EP. That way, it's collectively in people's mind, like, oh wow, they just put something out. Here's something else. So, and I mean, as we speak, we're 3 or so songs into a next record. It could be an EP or it could be a full length. It just depends on how it evolves and how it comes out. But it's not like a collective decision. Like, okay, what are we gonna do different? It's just as the 4 of us as songwriters, it's how we come together and how things evolve.
So yeah, no, it makes sense. Plus, releasing EPs is faster, and it's a way to keep with the momentum that you had from Sepsis. So since you were released last year, to have a EP this year. So this EP, the title track is really cool. The one you have the music video for, it's like for Primal Descent, the video is like a visualizer, and there's like a heart, and it's pretty dark. So that song, what is Primal Descent about, like in theme wise?
It's I mean, we kind of like to leave it up to the listener, but it's dealing with the fact of how basically as humans, the more technological advances that we have, sometimes it seems as human beings we seem to de-evolve. Certain aspects of being a human have disappeared, and the more technology advances, the more that's apparent, so to speak.
Like reading maps.
Exactly. Exactly, like actually reading a map. I'm not sure too many young people under the age of 20 could actually read a map today.
Yeah, because back in the day when you had to get somewhere, you had to look at the map and figure it out. And now it's like you put your phone and it tells you where to go. And sometimes I still don't trust the phone, because sometimes it gives you like, I'm like, I know a way to get there faster. So
Oh, of course.
yeah.
And when I was growing up, in my collective memory, I probably knew 20 phone numbers. I couldn't even tell you. I know my own phone number, and that's it right now. There's no need to remember certain things.
Yeah, I know mine because it's easy, but I can totally relate. Yeah, back in the day, like you remember phone numbers now, like you don't. There's no need to remember. So yeah, that song, yeah, it's pretty. It's spot on with what like humans are evolving with technology, like taking over. So this is an EP that's it's pretty dark, and every song deals like with a different theme. So I was reading like what all the themes for the song are about. For example, Spectre in the code, it can be processed as a warning about artificial intelligence, which is something that right now it's pretty much very prevalent. Like everything, like artificial intelligence, like can do like better. Like you give it the information and do like an album cover, and you can feed it like music. It can do music. So it's pretty. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of scary when you think like you would rather listen to something that a computer created than a human being.
Or yeah, or I mean, there's college students doing college papers now where they just type in the theme and the entire paper is AI comes up with the entire, like someone's thesis that you're supposed to work on for years. AI
I
can do it
worked
in
with mine for
seconds.
5 years.
Right.
So it's
And
like so unfair.
because whatever, a year ago or whatever, when like certain AI stuff came out and was made to the public, I would just type in random things, and it just kind of blew my mind at how pretty close it is to, and I can see where it will help society, but in the long run, I think it's just gonna make things worse. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with with your opinion. People will be bitching like, "Ah, look
It's
at
scary.
these two old men com- complaining about technology." But yeah, it's
Right, exactly.
like uh, I agree. I think like it's cool to have technology, but I think it makes people like lazy. Like like
Oh, for sure.
yeah, like if you're too lazy because like, oh, I don't have to like go to a public library and get information to do things. I can just like everything's like so accessible now. So
And
you had quite a lot of inspiration for DCP. So when you were working on DCP, were you did you want it to be like four songs that share like a common theme, or is that just something that just happened?
that usually just happens, even with past records. I mean, everything, all the subject matter we deal with is quite dark. So that's just how it all comes out. And it was not once again, it was not a conscious decision. It was just what was going on in our lives and around the world. And with four songs, it just kind of came out that way. It's not, we never sit down, we never have band meetings like, all right, this song's going to be about this or this or that. Like a collective effort that just happens, like with the chemistry. And yeah, it just, like, we hear certain riffs and melodies, and you just start writing about certain subjects, they're somewhat relative to, current events.
So I'm gonna show the artwork for the EP, which is it's a very awesome artwork. It kind of reminds me of that Donnie Darko movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think well, there
That's
used to be a bunny, but it's something. It reminds me. So
all right.
tell me,
Well, the artist who's done all our record covers is,
yeah, yeah. Well, you were saying the artist that done all your record covers.
oh yeah, the artist who does all of our art and our layout and 90% of our merchandise is actually the guitar player in the band. He's one of the major songwriters. He also contributes to lyrics. So I think that helps tie it all in together, makes it more cohesive. and he's a great artist in itself. He runs a website called darkartandcraft.com. You check that out. He displays underground artists that have dark themes from all over the world. We just played a show here in Cleveland this past weekend, and part of the show was also displaying probably about 8 to 10 artists from around the world, from like Poland and Russia and Brazil, Indonesia, and just all underground artists who would never have an avenue in the United States of like, here, check this out. So also, Axioma is very well tied into the whole, all the art that's involved with it as well. So we
Yeah,
don't,
and it
we
really
don't.
fits in with the music.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's we don't commission an artist and say, hey, this is what we want. Like he's there, writing the music, recording the music, and so he has more of an insight than anyone would ever have outside of the four of us.
Oh yeah, and it's good that you have someone in the band that can actually do this, and yeah, it looks dark, but it looks good, and it really represents what you listen to when you listen to the EP. So for you, how long did it take you guys to work on this EP?
Geez, I don't even remember. It takes so long for things to come out these days. It was recorded, I believe, in March of this year. We wrote the songs probably throughout 2022 because Sepsis came out due to all of the vinyl being so far back. I think when we recorded Sepsis, it took over a year for it to actually be released.
Yeah,
So
wow.
I would say it was like a year of just writing music, and then it took us, we recorded at a friend's studio, so we'll go like on the weekend or something. So I think it probably took a total of 4 or 5 days complete to do the general recording.
Awesome. So, for you, growing up for you, like, what bands got you into heavy music?
Oh shit. Well, see, I grew up sort of in the South in Virginia. Um, I mean, the end all be all for me, and because I'm old, it was Kiss. When I was a child, Kiss was visually stimulating at first, and then I listened to the music, and I was hooked from there on. And then, like classic rock, and then when see, I bought Bonded by Blood from Exodus, then I was full on thrash. And then within a year I discovered punk rock, and then it was all, metal and punk rock. Not all, but that was my main go-to for where this all comes from. Celtic Frost, of course, the Metallica, Slayer, stuff like that. So that,
Awesome.
in the 80s, when I was a teenager, that stuff was very impressionable.
Yeah. So, do you keep up like with newer bands nowadays?
Not nearly as much as I could or should. I mean, there's so much new stuff that comes out. I can't even,
Yeah.
half of the bands I can't even pronounce the names, much less remember what it is. So a lot of what I get introduced to is going to live shows and or playing live shows, playing with bands, and be like, wow, that band was amazing. So I don't get on the internet all day and try to listen to as much music as I can, because, well, I'm also, my work involves music, so it's I
You
like
will
my
get
quiet
tired.
time as well.
Yeah, no, I would understand. So I see your your shirt has some bowling. Is that bowling pins, right?
Oh yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's
I said,
it's a venue in Youngstown, Ohio called West Side Bowl, and they have bowling lanes, and then they tore out half of the bowling lanes and repurposed the wood from the lanes to build a stage. And it's an amazing venue with they have amazing food. Yeah, in Youngstown, and Axioma's played there numerous times. I
so
didn't even realize I was
bowling and
wearing
metal.
it. Sorry.
Bowling and metal at the same time.
Yeah. It's it's an independent run venue, so I like to I didn't even realize what I was wearing, but I like to wear shirts of all the independent venues around here
Oh yeah,
because
no, that's good.
I work in a venue and it's not an independent venue, so
No, it's good to give props to the independent venues, and plus it sounds like a cool idea, like to have like bands playing and plus bowling. Sounds
oh
very
yeah.
very fun.
The venue is amazing. They have a massive stage upstairs and then another very good sized stage downstairs. So there's been numerous festivals that play. So there'll be a band playing upstairs as soon as they're done, band downstairs. So you can get your good 15 bands in one day if that's what
Nice.
you're
Plus you get
there
your
there to
bowling.
see.
Are you an avid bowler?
No, not at all. I've bowled maybe 3 times in my life, and
Oh,
the one time I did, the people I was with were trying to tell me I was a liar, and I'm an avid bowler. I'm like, no, this is a pretty easy concept to grasp. So, but no, I'm
yeah,
not
it
a
seems
bowler at all.
easy, but it's not that easy
No,
to have a good bowling game.
it's not that easy. But and I'm not saying that I was great, but I did bowl some strikes. So
Yeah.
apparently, if it's your first or second time, that's not something that is common. I don't know though, because I'm not a bowler.
Yeah, I just saw the shirt. I'm like, oh, maybe he's an avid bowler. But it's a venue, but it sounds like a cool venue. So, to check out. So, so you're putting out the EP soon. So, any shows lined up for the band soon?
uh, yes, actually, well, let's see. A few days, 5 days after the EP comes out, we're playing with our friends are coming through town. Goat Horror, Withered, and Spider. Spider as in spite, not the arachnoid. Um, they're playing at a venue here called the Grog Shop, and we're going to be the local openers for them. And then we have a show coming up in Rochester, New York, with Sulaco, and then back in Cleveland, I believe December 22nd, with some local bands that play around the country as well. One being Inoculation, um, Paradox Rift, and Unvow, which are a newer band that I have yet to check out. Nothing on the books for next year as of yet. I think we are doing a fest in Denver, possibly. But I'm not sure. Maybe that's in May. I'm not quite sure when that is.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds awesome. And that's a great coffee mug, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Are you familiar with Jim Kanye?
No, I didn't see, but it looked cool. But no, I'm not. I'm actually not familiar.
Yeah, he was a legendary stalemate of the scene here in Cleveland. Also, he played drums in a band called Nunslaughter, among many other bands. And he was just great. Everyone loved him. He passed away, I believe, like 8 years ago. He had a stroke. But yeah, he's an amazing human being, Jim Kanye. And yeah, that's his a coffee mug that cheers to him.
Awesome. So, Aaron, so seems like the band's pretty busy, and you're already like working on new material. Do you know what direction you're taking, or you're just seeing what comes out? Like, Are you like the type of band that you get together and jam and see what comes out?
Yes, yeah, for the most part. We evolved into that. Originally it was okay, here's this song, here's that song, and then with the last couple of records, it's we all get in the room and we'll see what happens. Everyone has their riffs and their ideas, and everyone adds to it. So yeah, so in that regard, we're constantly writing. We're always writing.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. So the EP, I'm gonna put the link so people can get it. It's gonna be out on CD and digital on November
Correct.
3rd. So I'll put the link so people that wanna like pre-order that can do so. And it's been great chatting with you, Aaron, about the Primal Descent EP and other things, metal. And who knew I was gonna talk about bowling? I didn't know, but
Yeah, right. I've never spoken about bowling in my life, so that's the power of what a T-shirt will do.
it's a good thing. At least yeah, my
Well, I got
parents they bowled in a league, and they used to make me watch bowling on TV. And
oh,
I still think it's the most boring shit ever to
I
watch.
mean, in my opinion, the greatest thing about bowling is the movie Kingpin.
Oh yeah. That's the best movie about bowling, and it's funny. And I think, well, I'm like thinking, is there another movie with bowling? Well, The Big Lebowski has some bowling in it,
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep.
and but it's not all about bowling, which Kim Ting is all about bowling. So I think that's the only true movie that's only about bowling that's ever been done. So yeah, it's a cool one. So anything you like to say to the fans before we go?
Just enjoy life, man. don't let the man get you down, and do whatever the hell you want to do. Don't let people tell you what to do.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.